So as you can see, I'm working on the neck blank, and this neck's going to be made from some nice bird's eye maple. As I've said before, I always laminate my necks to enhance the stability. So running down the centre of these two pieces of maple is a piece of walnut, so that's in keeping with the back and sides. And I've also used a green veneer either side of the walnut, and that's going to be a decorative theme which I carry on throughout the instrument. Now I always do a spliced head joint. So what happens is the neck is cut at an angle. I find that 14 degrees tends to work for me, and the head is a separate piece which is glued on. Now what makes life difficult is that you have to put the clamps on in this direction, but of course the join goes across at an angle. So as you apply pressure and you've got the wet film of glue, you get this shearing action, and both these pieces want to slide apart. So when you clamp this together, you have to ensure that these two pieces can't move relative to one another, and I'll show you how I do that. So you've got these three G clamps applying pressure to the glue joint, and we've got a piece of scrap wood clamped to the bench here, and another piece here, and what those two pieces are doing are stopping the head and the neck sliding apart due to the shearing motion when you apply pressure on the clamp there. So I've got some lovely pieces of highly figured Claro walnut that I've had in stock for ages. So what I've done is I've sliced this. So this is going to be the book matched head overlay, and you can see that's really quite spectacular figuring. And then another piece from the same block I'm going to use as the finger rest, so everything will be in keeping. So I've just drawn the N logo that I use in the head overlay. Each one I draw freehand, so on every instrument, although they look the same, there is a subtle difference between them, and I like the idea of the uniqueness of each one. So I'm cutting the pearl with a piercing saw. I prefer to work with the pearl vertically, because then gravity does the work on the saw. The pearl's backed by a piece of plywood to keep it from snapping, and I'm using this vise which I made myself. Must have been about 35 years ago when I was doing a machining course. It works really well for this sort of delicate work. Well, okay, so after a bit of sawing, filing and sanding, there's the N logo. Here's the walnut head overlay, and now what I've got to do is inlay that into that beautiful head overlay. So here we have the finished head overlay, this beautiful book matched Claro walnut and my mother of pearl logo inlaid into it. I mean, this is the sort of thing that some people would use CNC machinery for, but really, you know, you kind of miss the point. I actually like doing this sort of thing and working with my hands. Why would I want to do it differently? So under these clamps we should find the head overlay glued on to
to the head. Although there's a lot of clamps there, it's not about force, it's about surface area. There is the head overlay glued on, and you can see these tiny wooden pins that have kept it in alignment with the centre line of the neck. So the next job is to shape this and drill the holes for the tuners. So there's the volute, roughly carved, and that will be finished off when I come to shape the neck. It's quite tricky to actually cut that because you don't want to damage obviously the back surface of the neck. So I'm using one of these StewMat jigs to drill the holes for the tuners. When you've got 4 tuners on a plate, it's essential that you get them lined up perfectly. Otherwise, the tuners will bind. 1/4 inch drill. So what I'm doing now is I'm counter boring the 1/4 inch holes here to take the bushes for the tuners. So there we have it, the completed head. Book matched head overlay, pearl logo, all of the holes drilled, including for the screws. Volute started, and that's as much as I'll do on that now until this is actually glued onto the body and I'm ready to carve the neck. Now this head shape I've been using off and on since the late 70s. First used it on some steel string guitars that I made for the London Guitar Gallery. And really this is my preferred shape, and it is a question of really form being dictated to by the function. The thing about any head, where you've got the tuners converging towards the top, the strings can come off the nut in a straight line, go to the tuner post and not rub against any of the other tuners. And also these edges being straight, from a purely aesthetic point of view, it all lines up nicely with the tuner buttons. So that's my preferred head shape, and that's the reason why. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.